Is that translating? Excellent. They seem to be understanding what I'm saying. Hello. Are you a human from the 21st century? Oh, don't mind all of this. I am a scholar of your time, and I'm doing my thesis presentation on primitive representations of mammograms in the 21st century. So I've woken you to ask you some questions. Follow me. Oh, not you. You don't have autonomy to move your body right now. I'm speaking to my colleague who is controlling your body remotely. I would like to ask you some questions about this piece of media I found. This is the cave that my team has excavated. Behold this text that we have been poring ourselves over, which we discovered on your Class A planet.
Bombshells, musties, bumpers, lobbies, fronties, buttons, mops, spools, bullets, busters, Betty Boop, and big boppers, bonbons, bongo folders, bean bags, balloons, bebops, billabongs, butterballs, bumpers, bunkers, boobs.
What do you think this piece of moving media means? Why is this content making your vitals elevate? Can you take care of this? Thank you. You'll be better soon. Much better. Much better. Okay. So as I see it, this video appears to be an instruction manual on how to tell the difference between real and fake boobs, as the disembodied voice in this video calls them, in video games. Correct? Did I get that right?
Mai serves as a great tutorial this week because she, being a strong, independent, and progressive woman, leaves her breasts unfettered. In other words, her sweet chariots swing low. And this is our first major indication that Mai's melons are au naturel.
Mostly, I think that the content is a little bit nonsensical, or I am missing some of the jokes, but there is one section which I am incredibly interested in. Can we get some stimulants? I feel like we're losing them here. I need their focus. Now, as I was saying, the disembodied voice from this 2012 YouTube video describes a character's boobs like so.
They do it all, marking time like a pendulum, flopping when fatigued, and getting so excited that they just move on their own for no real reason.
What I am so interested in is that he describes the digital breasts as if they are sentient. He is describing these fictional boobs as if they have a personality separate from the character. The more digging I do, the more certain I am that the people who were creating these animations were unknowingly making a separate character when they animated the chest of these pixel women. Ew, why are you squirming so much? Pay attention, this is very important. I am stuck between thinking of these separate entities as either puppies or demons. If the sentient breasts are like puppies, then they're acting as the owner's sidekick to accentuate her mood and personality. If, however, her sentient breasts are demons and are created by somebody else and not for her benefit, then they work against her. They call attention to the viewer to desire them when the character might not want this, or they impose an impossible standard or energy that real breasts couldn't compete with. I suppose they could be both. So much of your history was unfortunately lost which is really frustrating as a student who needs proper citations. Strangely, most of what was archived from your planet were billions of renderings of moving memorygams and arguments on the internet. This has greatly informed my view of your people, and I'll admit, I have fashioned myself in your image. Anyways, whether jiggle physics are puppies or demons, I have found examples of jiggle physics causing great evil in your world. For example, because jiggle physics and sentient breasts were so common in anime, this contributed to the over-sexualization and fetishization of Asian women. It's as if the characters' boobs were animated to always be saying, "hello," even when the character's body language was saying otherwise. In this way, the puppies were owned and loyal to the viewer, and not the person they were attached to. But then I think of the bimbo revolution, which my colleague has been studying with great vigor, where women would perform as big-boobed, clueless, and vain for their own enjoyment. There are so many factors. Oh, it appears you have something to say. I am currently suppressing your vocal chamber, otherwise I'll be completely distracted and I'll forget my train of thought. This is a really interesting example of breast sentience. The drag queen 𝗍𝘁𝗀𝙗𝗀 is using her boobs as a morphing and transforming character that convinces the viewer that the breast is where the nipple tassels are swinging. Does my appearance please you? I am enabling your vocal cords to echo now. From my research, around the time that we found you on your planet when it was a little bit imploding, we figured out that there was culturally a Tim Burton renaissance. So I made this outfit for you to help you acclimatize to your surroundings. Is it helping? Oh, are you part of the Toy Story Woody fraction? That is so insensitive of me. 1 second. I'm the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in the whole wide west. Aw, am I making you homesick? Don't worry, I'll put you back into stasis soon. To be honest, I'm not really allowed to wake up lower species like yourself, but I'm just really into culture. You know? Stick 'em up! Oh. Just kidding, just kidding. You're so surprised. Oh dear. The higher ups are here. I'm going to have to put you into stasis. I've got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby. Come with me Friday, don't say maybe. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby like you. Ooh. You feeling better now? A little blast from the past? I find this body form very effective. Your vitals look awesome, and don't worry, I spoke to the higher ups and they said that I can wake you whenever I need to ask you some questions. Look at this drawing. I have been poring over many similar drawings and I have a couple of theories. Do you see this image of an aloof, big-breasted woman eating food? It reminds me of the "I don't eat salads because I'm not like other girls" trope. Except I don't think the boob owners are in control of their burger eating. The most important part of this image are A. the aloof expression, B. the boobs, and C. the food. And this tells us everything. It's almost as if the boobs are willing their host to eat more so that they'll, I don't know, be more nourished? more evidence of breast sentience. I have another piece of historical media which I would like to show you. Okay, it's recording. Yahoo! Ricola.
Tell them the story you told us.
I want to tell you a story about a girl that I've never met or seen, but through rumors and descriptions, I have a blurry mirage of her in my head. I went to a Jewish private school, and I can distinctly recall hearing rumors about a girl from another Jewish school who had big boobs.
Oh, I bet.
They were like really big. People would describe them like a great fervor. And I heard she gets around.
Okay, wow.
I think about her sometimes. She's my age. Hopefully she's living a happy and fulfilling life, but I wonder how she felt about those rumors that were told about her. I posted about this online asking if anybody was this girl or knew her, and I don't think I found her, but I did have a lot of people contact me and be like, it could have been me, because I was bullied in school for having big boobs. In elementary school, I was also reading the spin-off series to Gossip Girl. Ever heard of it? It's called The It Girl and is far superior. I pictured this mystery girl that looked like Jenny Humphrey, kind of. In the book, she's described as this like petite, well-endowed, curly-haired brunette.
Was she your idol?
Jenny Humphrey also got bullied for having big boobs, but I also kind of always felt like the author liked writing these scenes.
Oh, we know what you mean. Okay, so you told a sad boob story. Now you have to tell a happy boob story.
Okay. I remember the first time my boobs were big enough to rest on a table surface, and I felt so powerful. It was like this silent power move to anybody who could see this amazing feat. Okay, so we gotta go.
Bye.
But if there are any aliens out there, use your probes and send us a message. Am I a gossip girl for making my thesis about this? My esteemed colleagues and elders, I thank you for coming to my thesis presentation on Jiggle Physics. As many of you know, I could spend my whole life studying the primitive worship of digital mammograms in the 21st century. And I might just do so. I know there was worry, and rightfully so, that I had been cross-referencing my research with an awakened human. I believe with this untraditional method, I was able to see their culture with a less black and white framework. You've got to understand, Jiggle Physics was a surprisingly polarizing topic for their people. I will now quote my awakened human friend. There are ... I guess were Jiggle physics enthusiasts? ? There were the neutrals on the topic who would become defensive of them if they were threatened. There were individuals who liked Jiggle Physics but said fair enough when they heard criticisms. When can I leave this chamber? ? On the other side, there were people who were greatly upset by them. They wanted different representation of women and boob owners. I won't tell you any more until you tell me where I am. There were individuals who thought that Jiggle Physics should stay, but in addition, there should be better stories told about women and boob owners. And now I will sing a song which I learnt from my 21st century friend. Swinging in the backyard, pull up with your fast car, whistling my name. Open up a beer, we say get over here, play the video game. I'm in his favorite sundress, watching me get undressed, take that body downtown. I say you're the bestest, waiting for a big kiss, put his favorite perfume on, go play a video game. It's you, it's all for you. Everything I do, I tell you all the time. Heaven is a place on earth where you go to do the things you want to do. I heard that you like the bad girls. It's not true. It's better than I ever even knew. They said that the world was built for two, only worth living if somebody is loving you. And baby, now you do. If you want me to mail you 2 imitation tickets to Iron Maiden, sign up for my Patreon. I keep all my patrons abreast with the process of making my costumes and props. The Slime Girl animations were made in collaboration with artist Tobias Williams. Music, as always, by my genius brother, Jonathan Ben David. Thank you 𝗍𝘁𝘅𝑚cgirlboss and Ian Soder for script consultations. Thank you Jessica Eisner and Claudia Rick for helping me flesh out my concepts. Thank you God for giving me this great passion for all things boob related.